saw this. I had a guy that came into my office, and he had tennis elbow, and it was so bad that he could not turn the key even to start his car. His arm was in a sling. I mean, it was just excruciatingly painful. And, you know, and I felt around the muscles there, and it was just so sore. He could barely even stand to have it touched. So I tested him to see if there was anything emotional going on, and there was. Now, here's what happened with this guy. This guy was about 42, I think, and the story's in the Emotion Code book. He was a tennis player when he was in high school. Well, what happened was each trapped emotion, there were about 5 or 6 trapped emotions in there that were in these tissues. And each time I would release one, the pain level would drop, right? And the funny thing was, each trapped emotion had to do with a girl in high school that had dumped him, right? It was really funny, because his wife is sitting right there, right? And I'm testing, and he's saying, well, was it Marcia? No. Sheila? No.
Oh, no.
Cheryl? No. Ann? Oh, yeah. Ann. You know, he got dumped apparently quite a bit in high school. So think about what's going on. He's on the high school, you know, tennis team. Meanwhile, so he's out there playing tennis, and he's incurring trauma, you know, small amounts of what you might call micro trauma. He's using those muscles. He's kind of injuring them a little bit here and there. Meanwhile, he's getting dumped. So the trapped emotions, you see, when a trapped emotion develops, it will often go to an area in the body and land and lodge in an area where there is some kind of weakness or maybe a pre-existing injury, right? And so that's where they all went. Boom, 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 all of them. And it was amazing because his wife thought this was really amusing, you know, because there were like 5 or 6 girls that had dumped this guy in 3 or 4 years. But each time we'd release an emotion, the pain level would drop. And finally, when we were done, the pain was completely gone. Completely gone. I couldn't believe it. I mean, he had full range of motion, and I could go in there and squeeze those muscles, and before I could barely touch him, and he suddenly had no pain at all. That was mind-blowing to me. Mind-blowing. And I was just learning how this works, right? Well, that's nesting.